Hey guys, this is IX with RolloutReviews doing another Let's Build. This time it is Ketar, Creature of Stone. Nilku's Sandstone Blaster's kind of blocking the view, so let's get him out of the way. I'm just going to assume that it's pronounced Ketar, because the alternative is Ketar, and that's like an actual instrument. Ketar only kind of sounds like an instrument. And Ketar also kind of just sounds more Middle Eastern to me, and this guy's a scorpion in a desert, so that kind of fits a little bit better. Choking hazard! This is another one. 3 in a row with a choking hazard. I promise, I didn't plan that. And then just kind of the standard stuff on the back, along with Pohatu's Nuva symbol and the creature symbol. So, without further ado, let's get to opening this up. Again, this is another one that when I went to the LEGO store on January 1st, they did not receive in the shipment. They did not receive any Pohatus or Ketars, because I guess they just got whatever the catalog had, and this recent LEGO catalog had every single set in it, but for some reason was missing Pohatu and Ketar, for some reason. So yeah, I had to get this set at a Toys R Us nearby. Which, as I mentioned in the last one, the last Let's Build, was pretty lucky of me to have found those there. So, bring the backdrop down here. There are the instructions, of course. And let's open up the bags. Once again, about 3 different colors of brown in this guy. But, oh well. Also, a little bit more of this tan color in this set as well. There was like a single piece in Pohatu in this color. But this has like a little gear and several of these. So, yep, the stone guys continue to just kind of be a blast of color in this wave. A blast of a bunch of different colors. Oh! There was something I wanted to show you in the Pohatu instructions that I forgot to mention at the end here. In the instructions at the very end, even though Pohatu has no projectiles, it still has the little projectile warning in the corner here, because I guess you can swing the boulder and accidentally hit somebody in the eye or something. I don't know. I just thought that was kind of funny. Maybe Golly had that too. I didn't notice, and she has a little dangly bit on the end of her spear as well. I just thought that was kind of interesting. But moving swiftly on, we're going to start, of course, with the Shadow Trap, like usual. So just going off of the pictures I've seen, just like Pohatu, visually I think Ketar is probably my least favorite of the creatures. Although he's got some cool elements to him, like he's got, instead of claws, like you would think a scorpion would have, he's just got like swords for hands, which is kind of awesome, actually. This creature has these little robot arms here. Used for his legs for some reason. I don't know what the desert environment significance of that is. Maybe it allows him to tread on the sand quicker or more efficiently, something like that. But it also has a red eye, just like most of the others. So it would seem that the one that came with Akir is just weird, because it is the only one of the 5 that has a blue eye. But that is not all. This trap also sort of makes an attempt at its own scorpion tail, because, you know, you can't have a desert minion in this series without it being a scorpion for some reason. But yeah, it uses these chain pieces. And like with the jungle creature, the trap that came with Uxar, I feel like the tail with the chain kind of made sense because it could use it to like dangle from trees or whatever. But here, it doesn't really work very well as a scorpion tail because obviously it's not very rigid. It doesn't keep its shape too well. Another one of these pieces, like the one that came with Golly and that comes with Kylo Ren to make his lightsaber, used in the tail here. And then it uses these little pieces here in black, actually, for the stinger, I guess, if you can call it that. So attaches there, and then attaches to the back like this. So yeah, I guess it's supposed to be something like that, like a stinger tail, but in reality, it just kind of hangs there. Oh well, I guess it kind of works, but not really. Anyway, there is the shadow trap, and since this is the last of the creature shadow traps, here are all 4 of them together, and they're kind of cool. Honestly, I like them a little bit better than Skull Spiders, just because they're a bit larger, a bit more unique. That piece got stuck on his leg there, but yeah, as you can see, for some reason, this fire trap has a blue eye, and is the only one of the 5 with a blue eye. Again, I wish we got 6. I wish one came with Kopaka and Mellum, but it doesn't look like it. And as I mentioned in one of the earlier Let's Builds, Umarak the Hunter technically has one, but it's made using pieces from his armor, so I wouldn't quite count that as such. But anyway, it does definitely seem that the choking hazard warning is because these pieces exist in the set, although I think Pohatu had one, and I don't quite remember why. I don't think he had any of those ball joint pieces, so I guess not. I guess that is false. that is the reason they have them. But then again, I could just be remembering things wrong entirely, in which case, oh well. You should really expect that by now. Oh, this is stupid. I didn't put this in wrong, but I'm being stupid and want it to be the proper way that it's shown in the instructions. I'm sure people hate me for that. It's a silly thing to hate people for, but this is the internet after all. Anyway, there you go. There it is proper. It doesn't look any different, literally any different at all, but I'm weird like that. Oh, hey, Ketar actually has a gunmetal unity piece here. I believe Ketar and Umarak are the only 2 that have this piece in gunmetal. And it is interesting because Pohatu had it in silver, and so far all of the creatures have had the same color unity piece as the Uniters. So, I don't know. Wonder if that's telling of anything. Conspiracy theory. Ketar is actually Umarak's true creature that he combines with, and not Pohatu. And Pohatu was right to be scared of Ketar because he is the true mastermind behind 2016. It's one big reference to Akmo, actually, the Matoran of Stone from 2004, who was a traitor. Yep. So Ketar, don't trust him. Don't trust him for 1 minute. Thing is I'm sure people are going to take my word on that and actually believe me and not realize it's a joke. So, disclaimer. Should probably say that for those who are going to start spreading rumors around. But yeah, I don't know. It's probably just because they decided to put gunmetal in this set for no particular reason at all. Again, color explosion. You have gunmetal, you have just flat gray, and you have silver as well as black. Like, okay, whatever. Black maybe isn't isn't a clashing color because there's a lot of black on pretty much all the creatures, but like gray, silver, and gunmetal in the same set, along with 3 different brown colors. Like, you can't really deny at that point that the colors aren't quite the most focused, I guess. They are a little all over the place, very clearly. So I don't know what they were thinking on that front, but whatever. Okay, and now use these pieces here. And it looks like by turning this piece, these 2 pieces go up and down, like that. So that's kind of the gear function going on there. And then this goes on like that. Actually, I don't have these lined up properly. That's supposed to go on like that. It actually has a little diagram saying exactly the angle that they're supposed to go at, so that's what I'm going off of. So I think actually this is where the tail attaches, so by turning the tail back and forth, it swings his sword claws. Actually, there isn't any friction on this at all, however, so that could be kind of loose and floppy. You would have thought that they would have made it a point to put friction on that, given that that's sort of what 2015 tried to master by giving friction to all the gear functions. And there is a pinhole right there, so I feel like you could maybe put an extra gear in there to stiffen the function, but maybe there's a reason they didn't do that. Maybe there's not enough room, because that could be very possible, but I don't know, maybe they just decided not to for some reason. It could just be as simple as that. Often, that's the true answer. Parts limitations, maybe, oftentimes, like with Skull Basher and Korgot, like the reason there wasn't very much Transpurple, I bet, I don't know, I'm just guessing, was because of price limitations. It would cost more to mold those pieces in different colors, and so they didn't, and something similar could have gone in there. Maybe there isn't room for it, or maybe they just couldn't include the part because of price limitations. I don't know. I'm just pulling at straws here, and starting to ramble a little bit, so I'm going to stop. Got some legs. Those are nice. Nice, like Pohatu Mata brown on the legs there, or maybe it's a slightly different color. Yeah, it is. They kind of changed the color of brown over the years, so it is slightly off. But oh well, reminiscent at least. Okay, so you got that going on. There's his legs. Once again, Lego continues to give the creatures in Bionicle, the Rahi animals, an improper amount of legs, but oh well. It stopped worrying me so much because it's so consistent that it's like they must not be doing it on purpose now. And also that price limitation thing could come into play, but yeah, scorpions, 4 legs here, whereas they should have 6, but it's another thing people probably get annoyed at me for saying over and over in these Let's Builds, because I mention it literally every single time a creature in Bionicle doesn't have the proper amount of legs. Lord of Skull Spiders, the Skull Spiders, Skull Scorpio. But, hey, it's harder than you think to talk at nothing for 15 minutes, so, give me a break. Alright, so here is the tail, which kind of attaches at the back. Instead of like where the tail would actually attach. And again, it is a little bit loose, although you can kind of bring the tail down and lock it in place between these 2 pieces there, which seems an awful lot like it's intentional. And actually that looks a whole lot better. It gives a much better shape to the body as well. Unfortunately, there isn't really much of a way to bring the tail forward and have it like sting, because there isn't like a ball joint here or here, which would have been helpful, but oh well. Moving on. Here is the head. Goes on simply enough. Are there any like add-ons to the head, or does Ketar just kind of have... Yep, he just has like a blank head, so as far as that goes. And obviously the head doesn't look a whole lot like a scorpion either, so maybe the last complaint about the legs wasn't valid at all. Although, according to Revenge of the Skull Spiders, they're all part dragon, which, or they're dragon-like creatures at least, so that's why all of their faces look very similar, or exactly the same. It's the same molded piece, but yeah, they all have dragon faces, apparently. So that's the reasoning for that, even though it is technically a scorpion. It's a scorpion with a dragon face, which sounds like a Greek mythical creature or something. I guess dragons are more of like either a Chinese thing or like a Western European thing, but oh well, whatever. Again, just rambling. It's what I do best. And then you have the sword pieces here, and that goes on there, which actually does look kind of cool. Same thing over here. This attaches like that, and then you give one of these a sword each. So it actually goes over here, like this. And I actually really like this. I really like the sword claw things, because, you know, it has the elemental piece in the back here, and I don't know, it's kind of like a rocket-powered blade or something to me. I know this is supposed to be crystal and not like a flame, but, you know, it's elemental energy, so it's like a rocket-powered sword thing. And just the idea of a scorpion with swords for arms, it's like, if scorpions weren't terrifying enough, there you go, there's one that can stab you. They are a little long, though, so that's a thing. The swords are quite long, but yeah, aside from that, there is Ketar. Here are all of the extra pieces. Again, I'm assuming it's pronounced Ketar, but you know, hopefully we'll get audio confirmation of that in the new Netflix series. So yeah. Hopefully they pronounce all the names and pronounce them in a way that I'm happy with, because that does happen often in Bionicle, where even in official materials they pronounce names strangely. But oh well. There is Ketar. Again, you can kind of lock the tail like this, but it also lifts up, and you can kind of bring the claws up a bit, and by swinging the tail from side to side, it swings the arms up and down. I don't really like the exposed axles here, and kind of the way things attach in the arms and the legs. I'm not a huge fan of, so first impressions on this guy is he's okay. Again, probably my least favorite of the creatures, as I assumed he would be just by looking at the pictures. He just is a little bit of a hot mess, but fortunately his hot mess color scheme is very similar to Pohatu, and when we combine him with Pohatu, hopefully they'll balance each other out. So let's do that, bringing the backdrop up here. You know, it would be beneficial for me just to get a bigger backdrop so that I don't need to keep doing this, but I don't know, whatever. I never learn. And now we bring in Pohatu himself, and I have split up his weapon like I said I would. I just think he maybe looks a little bit cooler that way. And now, let's unite! I was trying to think of different things I could say as I combine these two, and I had the revelation that with the creatures attaching to the back, it kind of reminds me of the Gundam 00 Riser, where like the O Riser attaches to the back of the 00 Gundam. So I don't know. O Riser docking sequence initiate. So there's that. Anyway, that's what I do in my spare time. I make beepy noises with my face and play with toys. Okay, so the picture kind of has, let's see, there is a picture of the combination in the instructions, right? Surely. Somewhere? Yeah, there we go. So it kind of just has the legs splayed. These ones kind of come up over the shoulders, kind of like I suggested Uxstar. I keep saying Uxstar. I keep trying to put a T in there. Anyway, Uxstars can come over Liwa's shoulders. This can kind of do the same thing, and then everything else just kind of do whatever you want. So let's do whatever we want. So I'm gonna put these like that and kind of bring these spikes forward. This combination is just kind of like spikes everywhere, very similar to Liwa's in some ways. And then, oh, we forgot to give him his Unity mask. That'd help. Well, maybe. I think, you know, in the story, that's how it works. So you got that going on. And I actually kind of do like Pohatu with like the mane of the creature head behind there. It does make his mask actually look a little bit better, I think, personally. Kind of bring these back. There's just so many things when you add Ketar back here. He's kind of got some extra swords. And come on. A little bit more silver, a little bit more of this brown, a little bit more of the this brown back here, and of course a little bit more of the burnt orange. He does have a similar thing going on with Gali. As Gali, rather, with the shark tail, and this is a scorpion tail. But there is Pohatu combined, and, you know, even though this is one of my, you know, least favorites, it still looks awesome. It's still very impressive, and these creature combinations still continue to be very, very impressive. And there's a good weight to them, especially the $20 ones just have an excellent combined weight. So yeah, even though, you know, visually it's all over the place, it's still kind of just an impressive thing. So that is about it, guys, and this is IX Roll at IX, signing off.